when the waters opened up and the floods came, look at verse 11 of chapter 8. It says, in the 600th year of Noah's life. Why is it important? Why is that number 600 important?
Where are we looking for? I'm sorry.
Verse 11 of chapter 7.
Oh, 7.
What's significant about Noah being 600 years old?
I don't have a clue.
What's going to happen in the 6,000 years? God worked 6 days and rested the seventh. This is at the end of man's day. This is at the very end. It says, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. It started to rain. God shut the doors 7 days prior to the rain, but it started to rain on the 17th day of the 2nd month, which correlates to the month of May in our calendar. You know what happened in the 2nd month? And very, very big thing that happened in the life of, in the history of Israel. Go to, let's try 1 Kings.
First Kings?
Yeah. Chapter 6.
Let me give you this. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You're okay.
Bill's not here this morning, and he didn't get the books put out. And
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
1 Kings chapter 6, verse 1. It says, it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, in the month Ziph, which is the 2nd month, that he began to build the house of the Lord.
Wow.
So Solomon began to build the house of the Lord in the 2nd month, the same month that the floods...
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Hey.
The same month that the windows of heaven opened and the rains came down. Now go all the way down to...
Wait, go back to that. What just happened and I didn't catch it.
Solomon began to build the house of the Lord, the temple, in the 2nd month, the month of May, which is Israel's 2nd month. That was the same month that that the flood started, in the 2nd month. Now look at Numbers chapter 9. Hold your place in 1 Kings. The Passover was in the 1st month, which would be April 14th in our calendar. Numbers 9 verse 1, and the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the 1st month of the 2nd year after they came out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season. In the 14th day of this month, at evening, you shall keep it in his appointed season according to all the rites of it. And according to the ceremonies thereof shall you keep it. And Moses spake to the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover, and they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the 1st month, even at evening in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded, so did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron that day, and those men said unto him, we are defiled by the body of a dead man, wherefore we are not able to, or wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering to the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, Stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, If any man of you or of your posterity be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. In the 14th day of the 2nd month, at evening shall he keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. So if anyone had touched a dead body, they couldn't keep the Passover. But God made a provision. He said on the 2nd month, on the 14th day, that's when you'll keep it. Now, who is guilty or defiled by a dead body?
Israel.
Israel. And they have not kept the Passover. Christ is our Passover. They have not kept it. But God's made a provision. They will be able to keep it. Now, I told you the 2nd month is the month of May. And on the 14th day of that month, God made a provision that they could keep the Passover in that month. Do you know what is significant about the day May 14th?
I'm sorry I gave you wrong,
No.
but I'm sorry.
Anybody recall something that happened on the date May 14th in 1948?
Israel became a nation.
Israel became a nation on May 14th, 1948. Now they're still guilty of, but is it just a chance that it happened to be on May 14th that they became a nation again?
No.
Or is God saying, hey, I'm not done with them,
That's right.
and we're about to bring this thing on through?
Hmm.
All right, one
It's
more.
amazing to me how God is so fixated on dates and numbers, and it's like you don't see it when you're reading it, but He is very organized in what He's planning and doing. That's
One more thing, and we're going to have to be done. Chapter 8 of Genesis, verse 1. God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark, and God made a wind to pass over the earth, or a spirit, and the waters assuaged, the fountains also of the deep, and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained, and the waters continually returned from off the earth. And after the end of 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month. Literally, it's over the mountains of Ararat. And this does not mean that the ark landed on the mountains. Mountains were still underwater. But it just so happened that God placed that ark directly above these mountains, and it just rested there. What is rest a picture of? What is
1,000 years.
the rest out ahead, the Sabbath rest that's waiting for us? And this ark is resting over these other mountains. What are mountains a picture of in the Bible?
nations.
Nations, kingdoms.
Right.
What did it say in Isaiah 14? Your seed shall inherit the Gentiles. For their the nation of Israel is going to be set at the top. So we see that this ark is at rest over the other mountains, but it's in the 7th month. And go back to 1 Kings, and we're going to be done, I promise.
First Kings what?
So what's the 7th month then?
The 7th month will be this: May, June, July, August, September, October. First Kings chapter 8. Solomon has completed the temple. It says Solomon assembled all the elders of Israel in verse 1, and all the heads of the tribes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel, and King Solomon in Jerusalem, that they might bring the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. All the men of Israel assembled themselves unto King Solomon at the feast in the month Ethanim, which is the 7th month. And you know what happened? You can read the rest of this on your own time, because we're out of time. They brought the ark in. And what happened when they brought that ark in? The glory of God filled the house.
Wow.
And that's what's going to happen when the Lord Jesus Christ returns Because see, the glory of God, since that Solomon's temple was destroyed, the glory never came back.
Right.